Hi and welcome to the show. I've known my next guest since she was in school. Now she leads the financial business for Thomson Reuters in Africa and currently chairs the Women at Thomson Reuters Network Global Advisory Council. How many years was that before Reuters came knocking?
By then I'd gotten married. So I got married in 98 and my husband joined me in South Africa. And he got recruited by a US company. This was during the dot-com era. And they wanted him to move to New York. And so when we landed there, I started looking around at banks, at financial institutions, because that's what I knew. I was in a cab one day and the cab driver says to me, "Oh, do you work at Reuters?" And I said, "No, why?" And he says, "Well, a lot of people who work at Reuters live in this area and they're a really good employer in Long Island." And he said to me, and I said, "Oh, I'm looking for a job." And he said, "Well, you should apply to them. They're really good." And so I literally went home, went on the internet, on the advice of a cab driver, went on the internet, found an assistant project manager. It was an entry-level job at Thomson Reuters, applied for it, got a call within 20 minutes, which I don't know anyone else who's actually applied on the internet for a job and got a call back in 20 minutes.
So someone was like waiting there nobody wanted this job. And so they were
something was going on. And the recruiter says to me, your resume doesn't meet any of the job requirements, but it's really interesting. Would you like to come in? And I was like, sure. So I went in and I interviewed and I got the job.
What are the big industries or sectors that young Africans should look at going into over the next 5 years?
Yeah, so I think anything to do with knowledge economies is going to be big, right? So we're moving away from a very commodities-driven economy and aid-driven economies in Africa to being very much professional economies. And so the knowledge base is growing, the diaspora is coming back, I guess the wealth of information out there is getting bigger and bigger, and the need for information is getting bigger. And so I think anything to do with that sector, where it's professional services, is going to be really big. And I think that's what I would advise people to get into if they're at the beginning of their careers right now. I think that's going to continue to grow. So anything from, hospitality and services to financial services to sort of legal, all of these professions are going to develop in Africa over the next sort of 5 to 10 years, and that's where people should go.
Sneha, the show's called The Scoop. I asked my guests to tell me something about them that hopefully nobody in the world knows. Now, I know it's difficult. You've been married a long time. I'm sure your husband knows everything about you. But tell me something maybe even he might be surprised about.
So I was thinking about this earlier.
Sneha, thank you so much. It really was a pleasure. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for spending your time with me. And I hope I got you to relive some good memories